no matter what kind of situation you're in, you have to be kind and you have to have dignity.
How would I have my kids, and just the difficulty of being a parent and then being in a camp, being somewhere I can't leave?
There's so many people who just think that those were still that was that was a rational decision to put everybody into a camp and say they're all the enemy.
It's so important for them to carry on and know what has happened to us in the past. It has to start with you, and you tell the story to your children.
A date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
120,000 persons of Japanese ancestry were transported to an assembly center where they lived for months, eventually being transferred to one of 10 relocation centers.
I have 10 grandchildren, and it's just been a blessed, wonderful life. My husband passed away about 9 years ago, but he gave me this family, and I feel like the most fortunate person in the world. And it wouldn't have happened this way if it weren't for our background too, so we have to be thankful. My father, a very gentle man, very creative, an artist. In fact, we donated his work to this camp. It was about the coal rush, which, when it got very cold here, everybody would use the pot-belly stove. And we said to our father, why is our part of this house here always so smoky? He said, well, you come out to pick up the coal and I'll show you why. And so we go out with our buckets, and everybody was pushing people aside and hoarding all this coal, When everybody left, he said, now we can go pick up the coal that's left. And he said, what do you think the lesson is? And he said, well, I wanted to show you that because no matter what kind of situation you're in, you cannot be an animal. You can't act like animals. You have to be kind, and you have to have dignity. Here he was, an immigrant that came at 14 to this country, not speaking English. And he studied very hard. And so he was very much a person that said you have to live your life with dignity.
Knowing that they went through that, and it was my parents, it was my uncles. I'd meet them all, and they were all in those camps. As I got older, thinking about how difficult it would be. I mean, just as I became a parent, and thinking about how would I have my kids, and just the difficulty of being a parent, and then being in a camp, being somewhere I can't leave, being told where to go, and knowing about the Japanese society, about the father as being, the centerpiece of that, and being the breadwinner, and when you take that away from him, and how does that family disintegrate? Because he's no longer the breadwinner. He's no longer in charge, and they've taken all that away from him.
Yeah, it's definitely sad, and you get real angry about it because my grandma was an American citizen, and she was taken and put into a camp for being Japanese, and so it's a little bit frustrating because there's so many people who just think that those were still that was a rational decision to put everybody into a camp and say they're all the enemy for now, and then we'll let them out later. But taking a step back and seeing where the world is at and kind of how not far off we are from it, it's hard not to get a little frustrated with the current events like that.
Yesterday, a guy said something about being half Japanese, half white, and how sometimes people choose the white side, try and be white. And I feel growing up in elementary school and stuff, I didn't really want to be Japanese. I'd be rice crackers to school, and people would be what is that? It smells weird, everything. And I'm kind of jealous because I feel my little brother's embracing it. He makes a ton of Japanese food. I just feel I wish I wouldn't have been embarrassed. But kind of going off with that, I'm excited that now, looking to the future, it doesn't really matter the past as long as going forward I can really like dive into it. And I'm really proud, like high school since then, but I just feel guilty before, like not really knowing.
You don't feel happy.
I know, but I'm just glad that now I just feel so much pride. I can learn as much as I can and just be really proud about where I came from. Yeah, I'm just really lucky to be here, my family.
I'll tell you, I haven't heard them talk about it very much, and it makes me feel extremely proud of you. Very emotional, but I love them all. But it's so important for them to carry on and know what has happened to us in the past. And of course, never let it happen again. History repeats itself so often, and we have the power to stand up for our rights. It has to start with you and keep on, and you tell the story to your children.